Heard you wanted some quality Lizardmen gameplay? Well, here we are. This replay between Darth Plagueis and Ryder Rohan with Lizardmen facing off against the High Elves. That's right, Ryder Rohan playing his signature High Elves main faction here. And then, yeah, Darth Plagueis with the noble Lizardmen, led by noble Nakai himself. Absolutely a treasure to be protected, and that will protect you as well. We've got a couple of feral stegodons here, and a front line of Saurus warriors, unshielded Saurus warriors. Interesting choice. There's some extra cost efficiency. Skink Priest of Heavens here. Yeah, 3 Skink Skirmishers in the back. Some Cold Ones, Spear Riders, and regular Cold Ones scattered around. For the High Elves, Ryder Rohan taking a nice defensive position here with an incredibly cheap Sea Helm. I say incredibly cheap. Looks like he has some of the stuff. But he's got a Life Mage here with some Silverin Guard and Spearmen and a couple of Phoenix Guard, including Keepers of the Flame. And of course, Regiment of Renown, Silak One-Eye Merworm. Some archers here as well. Oh yeah, Sea Helm gonna get his awesome spear animation going. Nakai charges straight in to engage the Merworm. You can see the javelins also flying in, or the blowpipes rather, of the Skink Skirmishers. They are going to be teeing off on that huge high-value target. They don't have the most DPS in the world, but it's pretty solid. Stegodon's also attacking on the flanks as well with Skink support. You can see these Cold One Spear Riders not wanting to just YOLO into anti-large. They're wisely going to keep their distance for the time being. See what they can do there. We've got some healing. Does the Lizardman? Yeah, the Heavens Caster here. He's rocking just Thunderbolt and Wind Blast, so we'll have to watch for those. But healing on the High Elf side. Gonna keep things going. Nakai, of course, has his Miasma of Despair AoE debuff to drain vigor and everything else. And more importantly, the Primal Roar buff to give massive melee attack and physical resistance to all units and an AoE at the cost of a little bit of a rampage. A little bit of cycle charging here with Cold One Riders, kind of attacking on the flanks, pulling back, wisely not overcommitting to an engagement. There's not too much ranged punish here. So another nice Thunderbolt there on those Spearmen. And Nakai holds front line for now. Yeah, the Sea Helm plus Silak will be a lot for Nakai to deal with. The Sea Helm by himself does have anti-large. Not the most armor piercing, though. 43 bonus versus large currently, with the extra from the Tamakador's gauntlets. But yeah, even just 35 base, which is quite a bit. So we'll trade quite well there. Has massive melee defense as well with martial prowess active, but pretty low melee attack, even without being too tired. And just based on the armies here, should be in for quite the grind. Silak doing his death roll here as the feral stegodons continue to make their presence felt. And some nice anti-infantry damage with them, with the magic. Lizardmen, despite their large focus build, are managing to trade decently well. It's another great get with these Skink Skirmishers. They kind of pull a Phoenix Guard into a position where they can shoot them in the back. You know, clean firing angle and not getting interrupted line of sight, which is definitely an issue for some of these direct fire units like guns and blowpipes. Yeah, Primal Roar being popped here as the Stegodon fights Silak, much larger monster. But Nakai can also get some swings himself. And yeah, like the Saurus and a lot of these other lower tier troops really benefit from that Primal Roar. Saurus in general have pretty low melee attack, but great weapon strength. And you can see with that juiced Primal Roar, they are quite high on that melee attack. A bunch of other effects happening as well, but the Primal Roar is really the main one. And as a result, they'll be able to terrify away those Silverin Guard. Stegodon's also contributing, of course, to that terror. But, ooh, really juicy Thunderbolt right now as all these Keepers of the Flame are all bunched up. Stegodon's going to send some of them flying, but not doing too much damage right now. Lizardmen are definitely taking some pretty severe attrition on these Cold One units, even as they do some limited cycle charging. Still going to be taking a lot of damage in the process. And the feral Stegodons also have been grinding quite well, but are getting exceedingly low on health and leadership. Kai also cycle charging. Lizardmen having some mobility advantage here. Wow, that was a big path of attack animation. Took him right in the middle of the Phoenix Guard there. But let's see. Another heal on the High Elf side. The whole time, these Skink Skirmishers have just been free to fire as well, hit whatever they want. Now firing once again into the Phoenix Guard. Yeah, these two Phoenix Guard, or looks like Silak actually is the target of their attacks. Gonna be great for taking down that big high-value beast with some healing. Probably getting some inflated damage values, but still got to do the damage, right? And it is going to pretty much come down to just the Skink Skirmishers. It looks like most of the other support troops here have gone down. Well, and Nakai, of course, as well as the Skink Priests hanging off to the side here. Might get some of these other units coming back from route. They're so weakened at this point, they're really not going to make much of an impact. Speaking of impact, Silak just absolutely bouncing around, slamming down, having a grand old time, except for the blowpipes are very rude to him. Yeah, he's definitely getting punished pretty heavily by that. Lowered armor from exhaustion. Yeah, nothing really to help. I guess he's got a bit of missile resistance, 25%, it's not too bad. 360 missile block also helps a bit with a 20% missile block chance. Not that much, though, at the end of the day, especially with the high volume of Skink Skirmishers, the 120 shots. The higher volume, the better, you know, it is kind of percentage-wise against the missile block chance, so really punishing Silak very efficiently here. And the Phoenix Guard having taken quite a bit of healing, taken some damage. Keepers of the Flame are actually shockingly healthy. I guess maybe not too shocking, but there's a really nice lightning strike. Uran's Thunderbolt, you can tell when it actually kills the unit models at a distance because they do explode in a shower of fire, so that one actually just straight killing unit models there is pretty important, because, of course, those models can't be resurrected through the lore of life. Only existing models can be healed. Every one that goes down is a benefit to the Lizardmen. Skink Skirmishers are kiting away now. Going to try and escort Silak off the field. Meanwhile, Seahelm can't do much about this, but sit and watch. Something happened to the Life Wizard at some point as well. Oh no, she's still in there. Okay. Yeah, Lizardmen troops extremely low on leadership, but they might try and make one more attack run here. Honestly, these Keepers of the Flame could pretty much blend through everything that's left. Perhaps. We shall see. Lizardmen are pretty far behind on the balance power. Not too far, though. Still got these Cold One Riders alive. And Skink Skirmishers, once again, using their ammunition very wisely. A couple of models falling for the Keepers of the Flame and some important HP damage. Relatively little because of the armor and the physical resistance. 30% physical resistance and immunity to contact effects as well for the Keepers of the Flame, putting in absolute work against the poison here, just kind of over time. Don't have much weapon strength to be lowered, so getting hit by that poison definitely quite painful. But, of course, Regiment of Renown has that immunity to contact effects, whereas the regular ones do not. But that high physical resistance makes them tough targets for the Skink blowpipes. That being said, you got to do whatever damage you can to them. And Nakai with cavalry chasing Silak, making sure he doesn't regenerate, and actually felling the Great Beast. The Merworm goes down on dry land there. Oh, his tongue pops out there at the end. That was kind of fun. Ooh, yeah. Skink Cohort gonna bravely perhaps hold the line here. Rider Rohan rushing in all of his infantry, but facing some more kiting. Blowpipes getting contact and whatever they can. The missile block chance of the spearmen will help quite a bit once they're braced up to the front. Skink Priest running a little danger close. But let's fast forward a little bit as this late game grind gets underway. You can see the Saurus here kind of engaging all across the field. We're going to see another lightning strike. Skink kind of get pulled into it a little bit, but Nakai jumps in along with the Cold One Riders, and everything gets the primal roar of Nakai. All going to get their big final spike, try and do what they can to win here, but the Phoenix Guard are holding. They are taking relatively little damage, all things considered, and even some healing there to offset the damage they are taking from the Mage of Life. I can imagine they've got a lot more Winds of Magic left, but importantly, Lizardmen are able to finish off some of these tattered support units, and the non-Regiment of Renown Phoenix Guard is getting quite low. Little Wind Blast there. That Windstruck melee debuff, not going to do too much against slow infantry units, but Skink Skirmishers also have a handful more volleys left, but they might be called upon in this late game to fight. Feral Stegodon has also been chilling, getting that vigor refresh, and just in general, Nakai is fresh on vigor as well. He's got perfect vigor, essentially, from the Golden Tributes, and some of these other skirmishers and other units have been kind of hanging around on the outside here, so the fact that they are fresh, even though they got absolutely terrible stats, you know, the Phoenix Guard are going to be down bad because they are lacking their martial prowess, or no, actually martial mastery is still active for them. I forget, it's 25% these days. They can get that martial prowess down. Between that and the exhaustion, the only thing really going for the high elves would be that naval discipline. Their armor is also significantly lower because of exhaustion. So the Lizardmen are really living on a prayer right now. If Nakai takes any damage at all, they're just going to cascade into army losses, but let's see what they can do. Might be some more Winds of Magic left, perhaps. Maybe a little bit more for some Thunderbolts at opportune times. Try and get some good contact on those Phoenix Guard if possible. Yep, there's another one coming in, and even as Rider of Rohan tries to dodge, it's still going to get some models. At least a handful. Yep, a few there pop like fiery balloons that they are. And Nakai charges through. Thankfully for Nakai's animations, he kind of will be able to, somewhat like a chariot, just sort of charge through this formation. But certainly does not want to be taking any damage. He manages actually to get in contact with the mage while his lizards are screening the Phoenix Guard away from him. Getting close, you can see this micro level engagement here. Another heal pops out from the mage as she herself is facing some danger, although Nakai actually might take some attacks back from her. She's got pretty decent stats, 45 melee defense, and decent-ish weapon strength. I mean, it's not great. Below 300 is not great, but Primal Roar active. The Skink Skirmishers actually get into combat with almost 50 melee attack with that Primal Roar, and are doing some little chips of damage here and there, mostly due to the fact that there's still, you know, hundreds of them, multiple hundreds of them fighting, you know, just a handful of Phoenix Guard. Another bolt pops. Maybe gets a couple of guys in the back right there, but nothing too crazy. Nakai, yeah, gets a few big hits on the mage while that Primal Roar is active and manages to actually terrify her away. Yeah, Nakai does cause terror, of course. One of the things they upgraded him with over time that's made him a lot better, a lot more viable of a choice. He's going to charge in once more. Ooh, the mage kind of gets knocked over there by the cold one, a little bit unlucky. But the massive horde of skinks just absolutely battling it out with these Phoenix Guard right now. You can see just how outnumbered the Phoenix Guard are. It's, you know, if they were fresh, this would be no problem. But they're not. They're exhausted, and the skinks are largely fresh. And, yeah, they're still going to get hit by those thunderbolts every now and then. So it's actually turning into potentially the Lizardmen's favor here. Nakai's still got to be careful, but Darthblade just here doing a great job of, you know, cycling Nakai through almost like a chariot, like I mentioned, and then doing a little drive-by Primal Roars whenever that comes off and cooldown. Yes, Nakai is still 100% fresh, and yeah, these Skink Skirmishers all completely fresh as well. Whereas the exhaustion, yeah, with that exhaustion and with the martial mastery, there it is, complete brain fart. But that's okay. They are still technically above their base defense because they do have naval discipline offsetting that exhaustion, plus 1 extra rank, but still only 41 melee defense comparatively to where Phoenix Guard usually are. It's quite low, and against this high number, continuously getting cut down. But did Nakai just get routed there? Yeah, Nakai actually does route. He's down to about 500 HP. Comes back from route. It's going to come back around. At this point, the Phoenix Guard have been dealt with, as has the Mage. It's just up to the Sea Helm, but as discussed, the Sea Helm does not have great attack. He's got only 29 attack versus infantry. Of course, massive bonus versus large. So, Nakai's got to be super careful. Comes in, drops that Primal Roar. But the skinks can get some extra damage in. But Nakai there, ooh, a little wind blast out in the distance. Skink Priest chasing off those Phoenix Guard, hits himself with it, but, you know, basically doesn't take any damage. But Nakai there, did he actually take a hit? Let's see. Ooh, there's one attack animation. That definitely did a little bit of damage. Maybe one more attack in the back. Ooh, Nakai having some trouble accelerating. Pops cold-blooded on himself to hold for the time being, but I think he'll probably shatter. Ooh, unlucky. Takes another attack as he's trying to maneuver, and suddenly the Sea Helm fells our great boy. Will he be able to hold? I'm not going to make you watch him grind through all these skinks, so we're going to fast forward through this part. Question is, will he be able to hold? It is going to take quite some time, but his low attack means he's really not getting much damage on the skink skirmishers. Skink Priest tries to tangle with him a little bit and manages to get in a few chunks of his own, but ultimately he really doesn't want to stand and fight the Sea Helm by himself, so wisely going to rout the last of the Phoenix Guard there, and then just sit back and allow these skink skirmishers, who now are getting tired after everything, they're just going to grind down this Sea Helm, and his own attacks very ineffective. I mean, they only have 15 melee defense, but he's only got 29 melee attack against them, so still like below 50% hit chance, and doesn't have much splash attack power either. Much more anti-large focus against a horde of infantry like this. It is not going to be enough. I do like that they use the spearman animations for him, but he manages to get through like one unit almost, but 3 units of skinks. Oh man, absolutely amazing. I love that finish, even though it takes a long time. Just, you know, skink skirmishers circle beating the Sea Helm for literally like 8 minutes of in-game time or something. I don't even know. But absolutely insane skink skirmisher value. I mean, I know a lot of that is inflated due to the healing, but like I always say, you still got to do the damage anyway. So definitely very impactful. Over 2,000 damage value, 10,000 damage dealt for a unit that costs what, 400 gold, 400 points. That's incredible. Super strong performance from them. Nakai also gets quite a bit of value. The Skink of Heavens dropping those Thunderbolts. Even the Saurus Warriors, a couple of them trade pretty decently. I like the cost effectiveness of that over the shields, even though shields are arguably better in a lot of situations. But same thing, Cold Ones managed to get some respectable value between them. Feral Stegodons, they're just kind of, you know, it'd be nice if they got good value, but here they're mostly just kind of line breakers, disruptors, you know, drawing some resources. Rider Rohan's defensive formation was not able to hold, although he did get some pretty good value on those Phoenix Guard. Silver and Guard also generally trade pretty well in this matchup. They're much better against Saurus than your typical Spearmen. They can just hold better against everything, to be honest. But yeah, Silak ultimately was a little bit of a pain piece. Ended up taking a lot of damage from those skink skirmishers and didn't ultimately pay out the value that he needed to. So, tough one for sure for the High Elves, but no doubt Rider Rohan will recover, and we'll see him again soon on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been my pleasure. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.